Hey, thanks for tuning in to The Triangular, and remember to like and subscribe. In this episode, my wife and I are taking a road trip to Utah, where we'll be doing some fishing and some hiking and camping. This is going to be a longer one because we're going to hit a couple of areas in the southern middle part of the state, and we'll be sharing our experiences with you. So let's get rolling. Our first campground is in the Barker Recreation Area, which is set near a chain of lakes. To get to the campground on the lakes, once you leave the highway, you have to go about 15 miles on a dirt road. As long as your car has decent clearance, you'll make it, as we saw a few folks up there with trailers in the campground. The reason we chose this area is for the trout. That area has a variety of trout, including cutthroats, rainbows, and supposedly trophy-sized brook and tiger trout as well. Two of the lakes, the lower and upper Barker reservoirs, are accessible at the end of the dirt road. To reach the other lakes up there, you got to go on hiking trails. They're not too difficult trails, but they can range from about a half mile to a couple miles, depending upon which lake you want to go to. We first explored the upper and lower Barker reservoirs. We also fished a little bit, but we didn't have any luck. I'm guessing that these are heavily fished, given that they're at the end of the dirt roads. Plus, I didn't check to see when they were last stocked. Both lakes have docks, a picnic area, and bathrooms. Both are very scenic, and either one's a nice place to relax and to throw a line in. The next day we got an early start and headed out for the northern chain of lakes. We drove up to Lower Barker Reservoir, got our bearings, and then set out for our first lake, which was Flat Lake. When we got there, we couldn't see a spot to reach the shoreline, and after some bushwhacking, we finally gave up. Next up was Yellow Lake, but it looked more green than yellow due to all the algae growing. We didn't even stop to try this lake. Next up was Blue Lake, and as you'll see, it turned out to be the best lake of the bunch. Over here. There we go. Little tiger trout. Little tiger trout. Look at that. That's a good size one. It's a good sized tiger trout. Look at that. Yeah, see? Camera my foot. It's at least 12, 14 inches probably. 14 inches. Here. Hang on. Jeez, well then go that way. God, gotta leave him. Bring him over here. What are you doing? I don't know. It's about smaller.
Yeah, a little smaller.
Smaller. Here we go. Go. There we go, fish on. Get him out of the reeds. Come on. Come on. Now there's a chunk. Woo-hoo! That's huge. That is huge. Look at that. That's a chunk. Here's my foot. That's a nice size one. Ooh. Nice size. Get a little picture here. Oh, there we go. There we go. This one's barbless too, so I gotta keep the tension on. Oh, don't jump. Here we go. Tiger trout. Nice. After catching our fill of tiger trout at Blue Lake, we decided to pack it up and venture on to see what the other lakes had to offer. The trail was very scenic between the lakes, with nice meadows, aspen and pine forest, and spectacular views. The next lake we reached was Joe Lay Reservoir. We threw our lines in, but again it was shallow and it was algae covered. We did see some other people there fishing, but it didn't look like they had much luck either. So we decided to call it a day and head back to camp for a late lunch and enjoy the area around our campground before we settled in for the night. The next day we headed down to the southern lakes, which are the Long Willow Bottom and Round Willow Bottom reservoirs, which according to the trailhead map include Colorado cutthroat trout, which are native to this area. So we were getting excited about our fishing opportunities for today. The hike to these lakes is a little longer than the northern lakes. It's about 1.5 miles to the first lake. The trail's not difficult or steep, and it does have some great views, so it was very enjoyable. After reaching the first lake, which was Round Willow Bottom, we decided to come back to this one later and kept going to Long Willow Bottom. The trail between both lakes is very short with just a hill separating them. We set up near the outlet of the lake, and on our first cast we got bites, and after that it wasn't too long before we landed our first fish. These were also tiger trout, and some were even bigger than the ones we caught yesterday at Blue Lake. Ah, came off. Came off. Tiny one. Tiny. Dang it. There we go. Monster. Yep. It's huge. Huge. Tiger. Right on the corner of the lip. Look at that.
Holy cow.
Get out the tape measure for me. It's in my bag in one of the small pockets. A few other fishermen came along and set up across from us at the lake. They also had success landing tiger and rainbow trout as well. After a couple of hours, we packed it up and headed back to Round Willow Bottom to see what that lake had to offer. Our first stop was along the northern shore, and although we could see many fish, we could only manage to get just a couple of bites. The fishermen that were at the previous lake also came down, and they had much more success and were able to land a few fish. After a while, though, even they stopped catching fish. Since it was about noon, we decided to move to the opposite side of the lake along the dam area and give that a try. It also looked like a good area for lunch. Got a little cutthroat trout here. You can tell by underneath the jaw, the little red mark there. Got him on the Thomas Buoyant down here at the lower reservoir. So, oh well, little fish. Didn't get skunked on this lake. But that was it. and we didn't get any other bites. So I decided to check out the creek that was the outlet of the reservoir. It was maybe 2 feet across at best at its widest point, but I thought it had potential, so I gave it a shot, and I'm glad I did. After walking down about 100 feet, I found a nice hole and threw in a line.
Got it. Spinning it.
Red.
Look at that.
What is that?
Looks like a cutty.
There's a cutthroat trout. Caught him on a small creek. There's the creek right over there with grass. I'm going to get him back in here in a second. But there we go. A little cutthroat trout. Look at the colors on that thing. I'm going to get him back real quick now. There you
Came
go.
off. Oh. Got it. Oh, that's a huge one. Wow, look at that. Whew. That's a nice big one. Holy moly. Wow. Oh, we'll cut it. We'll cut it. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at the pretty colors on that. It's as big as the net. It's got it. Oh, about 13 inches. Okay.
So that wrapped up our fishing and hiking in the Barker Recreation Area. All in all, it was a good time. The more accessible lakes didn't prove to be successful, and I don't know if it was because of the fishing pressure, lack of stocking, or just bad luck on our part. So fishing-wise, all you had to do is just to work a little bit by hiking to the backcountry lakes to catch fish. But it was worth it for the quality of the tiger and cutthroat trouts that we caught. Definitely recommend coming back here in the future. So we headed to our next campground, and along the way we decided to do a little reconnaissance and explore some other areas for both fishing and hiking possibilities. One area we stopped at was Escalante Petrified Forest State Park. At the park we did a 3-mile-long hike to check out the petrified forest formations. The park also has nice campsites for trailers and showers, and it also has Wide Hollow Reservoir. A boat launch and kayak rentals are also available at the reservoir for those that are camping there. We didn't fish, but it looked very promising for bass and other warm water species. This might be a place that we stop at and try in the future. From there, we headed north and west across the state. We stopped to see what Otter Creek Reservoir had to offer, and then eventually took Route 153, which turns into a dirt road to get over a mountain pass. Although it is dirt, as long as there's no snow or washouts, even most cars can easily make it. The dirt road does become a paved road again, a little bit over the pass, and at that point you come to a location called Puffer Lake, which is also near the Eagle Point Resort. The lake looked really nice, so we stopped and decided to toss our lines in to see what we could get before continuing on to our campsite.
Set the hook. There we go. Let's see. What is he? I can get him up to shore this time without flopping off. There we go. Rainbow. Nope. And he broke the line. Little rainbow. Till I'm in the sun, probably this way is better. Rainbow trout. Alright. Let's go back in. There it is. There it is. Another one. Another little rainbow. Another little rainbow. Right there. Oh.
After fishing for about an hour or so, we eventually made it down to our campsite at the Cottonwood Campground on Beaver Creek. The next day, we explored a little bit of the area and headed west past the town of Beaver and spent a little bit of the morning fishing the Minersville Reservoir. Unfortunately, we didn't have any luck. We were targeting bass or bluegill but couldn't get anything to bite. I should mention that the reservoir is artificial or flies only as well. From there, we headed west and decided to check out the lower Beaver Creek area. We ended up stopping at a nice BLM campground to toss our lines in. And it wasn't long before Julie landed the very first fish. Brown trout. But there we go, wife caught one. There it is, little brownie. Bleeding, it looks like we may have to have him for dinner.
More over there. Oh, there's a fish. Okay. Right along the bank. My net's kind of far away. Should have got my net. A nice one. Gonna let him go a little bit while I get my net. See if I can get him out of here. Hiding under the bank, so if he wants to hide under the bank, I'm gonna let him hide under the bank. Nice little brown, I think. Tough. Do it this way. Come on. Oh, there we go. Little brown. Woohoo! There it is. Nice little brown right there. Got him in the side of the lip too. Perfect. It's like my wife's brown. There we go. This time I'm going to walk down because I'm not going to fight that uphill stream. Let's see, he's right over here. Right over here. There we go. Another brownie. Whew. Another little brownie right there. Let's get him back in the water. Oh, I... Come on. Is he on? I think he's on. The small one, whatever it is. Let's see. Small brown, I think. Another small brown. But we'll see here. Nope. Little chubby things. Utah chub or something, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, tiny, stealing bait.
The next day we went up to Puffer Lake, and this time we decided to hike to the far side. After we got set up, it was non-stop action the whole time. As long as you had a little movement to your bait or your lure, you'd get a fish. Check this out, guys.
Brook. Brook trout. We got the brook trout. Decent colored one. Rainbow. Right here, little rainbow trout. And hooked him on the lip again. Perfect. Open the water. And go. Another brook. Go. Rainbow. Perfect. Come off right there. Don't have to do anything. Movement right on the edge there. You can't resist. Another rainbow. Another rainbow. Oh God, fish on, baby. Look at that. On the crazy little worm. Feels bigger at least. got some girth to it. Yep, that's a nice size. I know, I see that. The mouth tail, who needs worm? You don't need worm. There we go. Got him on the move. Just happened. Right here. With the styrofoam to side pockets. Oop, there we go. Bless. Oh, good. Bit of a fight at least. Yeah, fight it. Yeah. There we go, baby. I don't know what to tell you. Look at this. Spider. There's a brook. There's something different. Oh, this is a big size one. Over here. There. Oh, nice. See?
Good one.
Do you want me to move? Go right here?
Open.
Okay, here I'll move. I probably don't need any more GoPro. God, I'm already enough. Look. Oh man, this is just trout fest. Trout fest. Steve and Joe would be living the dream. A little small. Tiny, but turn this off. We've had too much use of this camera. Too many fish. Gotta stop it now. There we go.
All the fish we caught ended up being brooks and rainbows, and they were all pan fryer size. Nothing was very big, but it sure was fun. We even decided to hike up the stream that went into the lake, and get ready for it. It's called Lake Stream, and we didn't get anything there either. But in all, it was a very fun time up at Puffer Lake, and I'm glad we decided to go back there and give it a shot this morning.
Alright, today we're back at Lower Beaver Creek. This will be our last chance fishing this morning. We had an awesome time up at Puffer Lake. I'm sure you saw the highlights of that one. This one we'll try again for some browns and some rainbows. See what we get. Maybe get some keepers. We can try smoking them when we get home. Anyways, here we go. Fish on! Rainbow! Smallish one. Let him go. Here you go, I'm on again. This is a good sized rainbow. Come on. There we go. It might be a keeper. That's a good size. I think I'll keep him. Come on. Nope, come on. There we go. Another good sized one. Keeper. BB bow. Huh, an otter. Look, a beaver. Oh! He's swimming right towards you. He was almost on the other shore and he jumped when I yelled at you. Huh, an otter. Look, a beaver. Oh! He's swimming right towards you.
So was this an awesome trip or what? We had great campsites, great weather, beautiful scenery, and spectacular fishing. It was everything I could ever ask for in terms of fishing for trout. In fact, I caught 5 different types of trout: a Bonneville cutthroat trout, Colorado River cutthroat trout, brook trout, brown trout, tiger trout, and rainbow trout. This is definitely a trip that I'm going to remember for a long, long time. I would highly recommend it for you guys to try as well. Thanks again for watching this episode. Remember to click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in a future episode.